Of all my preparations, there is one element that I don't feel ready. Now, a lot of you take it for granted because all you have to do is just open the spigot and it runs. Some of you may have a well. Some of you may have a lake. Some of you may have a spring. I don't have any of those. I actually haul my water because a well here in Fairbanks, Alaska runs between $25,000 to $35,000, and you don't have guarantee that you're gonna hit good water. You may hit water, but that water may not be good at all, or you may not hit any. So it is a lot to make an investment and on a gamble. Unfortunately, here in my area, there is a lot of forever chemicals that actually went into the underground water, and a lot of it got contaminated. Now, in my specific area, for everything that I have seen, logs from the DNR, and you look at logs and whatnot, and talking to folks who have wells around me, who did it way years ago, and they have tested the water. They said that yes, their water is fine. But unfortunately, I also know folks who thought the water was fine, and recently they have found out that it is no longer fine. So I think we all should start worrying about our water, because regardless of how much bullets you have, how much food you have, there's a limit of how much you can store. In my case, I have 1,000 gallon underground. I'm thinking that probably next year I will be adding another 1,000 gallons above ground, to have a total of 2,000 gallons. My problem is that no matter what, I have to haul water. That's my problem. Yes, I can go to the local spring and get it from there, but I will be limited to 7-gallon jugs. If I go and haul it from the water holes, I think I have shared that with y'all. If not, I would do a quick video one of these days and share with y'all how I hold my water. But I have to go there with the truck because water, if I remember correctly, is 8 pounds for every gallon. So I have a 150 gallon tank in the back of my truck. So I'm literally right there. Now I can put it on a trailer, but now I need a designated trailer for having that tank. So you see what I'm saying? Without a vehicle, I will be unable to get water. Now, many folks think that, oh, Billy, you just can melt snow and that's it. In an emergency, yes, you can melt some snow and you'll be fine. However, our snow is not like in the low 48 snow. Our snow is a very fluke snow that you can literally go outside with a leaf blower, and we do this often, and we just blow it off. So the water content in our snow is not a lot. And a lot of times, because it gets so cold, all the moisture gets sucked. In fact, I remember sharing with y'all that we got stuck in our driveway, and underneath the snow that as we were getting out, it was just sugar sand. That's exactly how our snow looks like, because it gets so cold in here that it sucks the moisture out. So water to me is one of those things that worries me, because although I have 1,000 gallons right now, I can't help to think that it's not enough. I can't help to think that my car down, I'm not going to be able to get water. And the funny thing is that we adapted ourselves in here to the point that we use very little. We use it for bathing, we use it for washing clothes, and we use it for cooking and washing dishes. We don't use it for flushing toilet. We do not have a flushing toilet. We have a compost toilet, because of the idea of flushing good water just did not sit well with me. And the other thing is that during winter, a lot of times well, things freeze because we get so cold. So when you start thinking about all of these things, and I think everybody should worry about this because a lot of folks who never dealt with cold are now dealing with very cold temperatures during winter, and they are experiencing freezing pipes, and they're experiencing more issues with pipes not being insulated and water freezing in their pipes and whatnot. But my point is that as issues come up, especially during winter time or possibly during summertime, because of the load of electricity being sucked from the grid, if those utilities get shut down and you're not able to open the tap like you're doing right now, you may be in a predicament. And yes, it is good to have containers of water put away, 7-gallon jugs, 5-gallon jugs, 5 liters, whatever you can. A gallon is fine. But long term, it gets concerning, or at least it is concerning me, to tell you the truth. And I've been doing this now for 8 years, and it still concerns me. Yes, you can collect rainwater, but if it doesn't rain, and that we have had periods of droughts that, I have seen a solid month without a drop of rain. A solid month. And I remember a few years ago, we had such a number of wildfires because there was no rain at all. So again, I just want to bring that in to everybody to start considering, yes, the boomsticks are awesome. The Freedom Seas are awesome. The food is awesome. Everything related to everything else is awesome. But I think that we only have a limited space to store water. I actually know a few people who don't even know how to filter water, which is also very concerning. And when you get thirsty, you're gonna get desperate. And let's face it, and it's not glamorous or anything like that. We all take it for granted because it's so available. But that was not always the case. That was not always the case. And unfortunately, without water, you're gonna see a lot of diseases. You're gonna see people drinking water from places that they never should have drink water from, and getting sick, really, really sick. I would say like this. This actually worries me. I'm fixing to do something more next year because this year's projects are just lining up, and by the time that they all are done, it's going to be winter again. So I hope, fingers crossed, that I am allowed to at least have the tank in the property by the end of the season, and I will start working, for installation next season. But keep this in mind. We only live 3 days without water. If that worries you, it should be, it is rightfully so. And this is something that I don't see a lot of folks talking about it, because many say, well, I have a well. I have this, I have that. You do. And I'm very happy for you, and I think you've done everything great. The problem is that, like many folks in here, that they did have a well, and they thought that their water was good. Now, it's no longer good. They got it tested, and the test came back positive for chemicals, and that water is not potable water anymore. Now what? Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I hope to see you in the next one.